Hi guys, this is gsmo.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the freshly unveiled Xiaomi Redmi Note 9T. This is supposed to be a sort of a global version of the Redmi 9 5G. Finally, an affordable 5G device from the Redmi brand. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is a handset which seems to have it all figured out for a price tag which gravitates around $250. It's got a triple back camera with a familiar design. It looks a bit like the one of the Xiaomi Mi 10T Lite and also a bit like the Poco X3 camera. It has this interesting texture at the backside which reminds me of the Poco phone, but more about that later. I'm going to fire it up and then I'm going to see what's inside the box because it's an unboxing after all. Okay, let's get things in order. So the Redmi Note 9T has been unveiled today and we have it here. Inside the box you can find an envelope here with the inscription designed by Redmi. As you know, the brand Redmi has been externalized from Xiaomi. Basically it's now supposed to be a sort of separate company. Here you can see the key used to access the slots, and we also have other things here. For example, you have a bunch of manuals, you got the user guide and the warranty card. We also have this case, which is rather thick and transparent and flexible, supposed to protect the device and also leaves enough room for all the required cutouts, power button with fingerprint scanner included. Okay, so that's one accessory out of the way. We go even deeper and we find a charger with an USB-A connector and the promise of up to, let's see, 22.5 watts. Don't get me wrong, the phone itself is able to fast charge, but no further than 18 watts. And here we have the cable, which goes from USB-C to USB-A. And that's pretty much it. I would say a pretty standard package for the price tag below $250 or around it. Okay, so let's put some of the things here in order and proceed with checking out the device. As the box tells you, we have a purple version. Sadly, this is not our version. Ours is black, well, lighter black towards gray. Now, some things that I noticed, I've been playing with the device for a few dozens of minutes, and I should probably mention that the back side is pretty grippy. So this is the back. It's got an interesting texture. It increases grip. It's definitely polycarbonate and a pretty slim polycarbonate. Up front we have a Gorilla Glass 5 protection, so that's not bad. I would say reasonably thick bezels. I mean, not too thick, also not too slim. There's a bit of a chin here, and we have a punch hole here for the selfie camera. There's also a screen protection which has been already applied to the device to keep it safe from scratches. Okay, we talked about the design. Once again, we have a power button on the side, which is flat and includes the fingerprint scanner. Now it's time to discuss some of the specs of the phone, and I'm going to start off with the display. This one is a 6.53-inch screen, IPS LCD with a Full HD Plus resolution. And as we go inside the phone, we should be able to find a MediaTek CPU. This is actually my first contact with a Dimensity CPU. It's the MediaTek Dimensity 800U. No matter if it said it 720 there, believe me, it's MediaTek Dimensity MediaTek Dimensity 800U, an octa-core 7nm CPU, which also enables 5G connectivity. It's accompanied on this device by 4 gigs of RAM and 128 GB of storage, but there's also a cheaper version of the phone which provides you with 64 GB of storage, as well as a micro SD card slot as far as I know. We also have a 5000 mAh battery, which is supposed to be one of the selling points of the handset, and it charges up at 18 watts. An interesting feature that we have here is the fact that we have dual SIM 5G, so you can have 5G on both SIMs, and also 4x4 MIMO for improved connectivity. Speaking of connectivity, you can find the USB-C port at the bottom side. You can also find the audio jack right here. There's microphone and a speaker here. At the top side, you can find the infrared emitter next to a microphone and an extra hole here, which I will probably figure out at some point what its use is. Now, aside from those things, let's check out the browser a little bit and maybe access our website, gsmo.com, and I think it's time that we talked about the camera. So as you can see, the selfie camera is placed in a punch hole here at the top left side. It's a 13 megapixel shooter, and if you go to the back side, you can see a triple camera. with a module design which reminds me of the Xiaomi Mi 10T Lite or the Poco X3. We have an LED flash here, and the main camera is a 48 megapixel shooter with AI technology, accompanied by a 2 megapixel bokeh shooter and a 2 megapixel macro shooter. That's about it. We also get 4K video capture, a Pro mode, a RAW capture, and believe it or not, we also have a portrait and a night mode. As far as the OS is concerned, this is Android 10, and it has MIUI 12 on top, which, as you can see, has a control center borrowed from iOS. And it separates the notification area from the control center area. We opted for a more minimalistic design. You can select that early in the setup process. And other things worth mentioning, well, the handset is, I would say, pretty comfy. The increased grip definitely helps for the backside. It's a pretty fluid experience from what I can see so far. And for this price tag, a fluid experience and 5G and a big battery is no small feat. And we also have NFC on board, just in case you were wondering. Let's check it out. This is the NFC. We also have Wi-Fi dual band and infrared and Bluetooth 5.0 and so forth. Okay, so that's about it. And the software includes a game turbo functionality for gamers, and we'll be back with more in the review. So far, I would say that the design isn't half bad. The fact that we have 5G, a big battery and a decently large screen is pretty appealing, and the CPU is actually one of the good ones, and also our first contact with a MediaTek Dimensity. This has been the unboxing and first impressions of the Redmi Note 9T. We'll be back with a full review very soon. Bye bye.